Hey, what's up, guys? It's Luke, and you're watching Luke the Gathering. Thanks for checking out the channel. I always appreciate it. Thanks for being here. And I just got back from Friday Night Magic again. Last week was amazing. I went 3-0. Great feeling. This week, not so great. I ended up going just 1-2, but the games were good. Well, the first game I got blown out. First round, blown out. Won the second game. Third game was really close. Went to the third game in that round and unfortunately lost it. I was playing a blue-white aggro, sort of a Knights deck. And, if you kind of get off to a slow start playing against sort of a green deck with large creatures, it's really hard to overcome. So that's kind of eventually what happened. My deck is not built for the long game whatsoever, and so I had to win and win fast. So I would, the general play pattern would be like I would just really quickly take down their life total till about like 5 or 4, and then I kind of stall out, or they couldn't keep things out there, and then I would win. But in this case, the way the cards fell, I ended up losing. In fact, I did hit a thing where in my very first game, I had 2 lands for like the next 5 turns, and it's game over. If you have 2 lands and you go 5 turns in, you don't have any land drops. It is terrible. And that stuff happens, of course, in Magic, which you just have to live with, right? So that happens. I did draft some cool cards, which I'll share with you still, and we did get another promo pack to open. I got an Infinity pack as a prize pack, and Aftermath. They had Aftermath today, so I got one of these. Only 5 cards in this tiny little pack. I'm hearing a lot of bad, negative things about Aftermath, how people don't like it, but I'll probably purchase some just to see for myself. Anyways, let's go ahead and turn the camera around and look at the deck. Alright, here is the deck. Sometimes I put the deck in some sort of order. I didn't really bother doing that this time, just because I wasn't a huge fan of this deck. Didn't do a whole lot for me, but Wicked Slumber was a card I wish did better in this deck. It's a convoking card. It also taps up to 2 target creatures and puts stun counters on them. When you're an aggro deck and you're trying to get in for damage, I think cards like this are great. But I had it in my hand a lot, and I never was able to really play it. Didn't do a whole lot for me, especially if you're on the back foot or if you're low on mana and you're only pumping out one guy at a time. Spells like this, they tend not to do that well. Assimilate Essence, again, when you're stuck on 2 mana, they play something and you're just trying to get creatures out. It's hard to play Assimilate Essence effectively. I was able to play it a few times, which was great. But, it was just, I wish, this card was stuck in my hand for a long time. And I think that, Glistening Dawn, I think that's the card that someone played, and that just wrecked me, because this doesn't do anything against that kind of stuff. The Lancer, this guy was okay. Wrath was alright. Overall, Wrath is a great card to have in a blue-white deck. 1/3 and can give your creatures vigilance and +1/+1. I ran over my second opponent with Wrath, for sure. Yorion I had before. Yorion is a great card. I think especially with backup and things like that. But again, if you don't have things on the field, Yorion can't do much. And so when you're mana screwed, everything just doesn't work like it should. I really like the Sunblessed Guardian. I think it's a really nice aggro card. When it's on the other side, it's a 3/3, and whenever it attacks, it makes a token copy of itself and attacks with that till end of turn. It's pretty cool. I thought it would work well. It's a 2-drop as well, so I think it's a nice card. But did well. Ended up getting 2 of them. Put them both in the deck. Tetsuko, 1/3. Probably not the best card in the deck. I could have done without him. Rona was cool. This is a 2-drop, 1/3 that turns into a 5/5. Excuse me. And then this 5/5 does all sorts of crazy stuff. It has trample, and then if this thing gets taking damage, you can look at the person's hand, or you get to randomly get a card from their hand and play it. Kind of nuts. Really crazy card. We got Sigiled Sentinel, another good one. Backup Vigilance. Totally just a solid card for the deck. Same thing with the Cavalier here. I got a couple of Quendes. This one is a scary card for the opponent when they see it. They always remove this card like pretty much immediately. The Halberd, another Sentinel, another Halberd. I like this, a 1-drop. It does make a difference with those double strikers and first strikers. Bola Slinger, one of my very favorites. Of course, only had one. I wish I had more of these. Aerial Boost. This trick is really good, and it kept me stabilized in the game for a long time. So I can't say anything bad about Aerial Boost. Here's another Quende that I drafted, another Aerial Boost that I drafted, another Sigil Sentinel. Order of the Mirrors, decent. I actually put a Negate in. I think I never drew this card, by the way. And some people don't like having Negate. They think Negate's like kind of just useless. But there are so many tricks, so many like cards that I think Negate can do well against. The problem is when you put Negate in your deck, it'd be nice to actually get it in your hand, which never happened. So that was terrible. Oh yeah, and this card fell down. Marshal of Zhalfir, of course, great in a blue-white deck. I actually, the first part of the draft, I had a bad feeling of the draft. It just didn't feel that great right off the get-go. And so, I don't know if that just kind of floundered me. I'll show you my pack one, pick one, which I didn't even play. Was Lutri, the Spell Chaser. I was like, maybe I'll be blue-red, but turns out the person next to me was blue-red as well. And so he was cutting like blue and like red. I couldn't see it, so ended up just not playing Lutri at all. And just some cards from the sideboard. I think black was a little bit more open today, but I decided to go for that Knights theme. Okay, well, let's just take a look at some packs. I mean, Unfinity, the only thing you really hope for here are the shock lands. It'd be great to get one, but they're a pretty hard pull. Let's see what we get. We got... Nope, that's not it. We got Animate Graveyard. Now, this has an acorn symbol at the bottom, which means it's not playable in regular Magic games. And what does this do? Enchant Graveyard is a creature on the battlefield with base power and toughness equal to the number of cards in it. Oh, so if you have a big graveyard, this could be big. It has all the text boxes of all the creatures in it. Of course, you wouldn't be able to play this. It's still a graveyard. If Enchanted Graveyard would leave the battlefield, exile, animate. Enchanted Graveyard would leave the battlefield, instead exile, animate Graveyard. So there we go. We also got a Plains, pick a Beetle. So nothing really great in there. Let's see this little pack of Aftermath. Epilogue Booster. And we got Tolarian Contempt. Culligan Warmonger. Vesuvian Drifter, and that's a rare. What does this do? It's a flying 2/4. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. Okay. At the beginning of each combat, you may reveal the top card of the library. If you reveal a creature card this way, Vesuvian Drifter becomes a copy of that card until end of turn, except it's flying. Okay, kind of cool, I guess. We got a Blot Out. Target opponent exiles a creature or planeswalker they control with the greatest mana value among creatures and planeswalkers they control. Alright, like a removal spell. Then we got Jirina Dauntless General. When Jirina Dauntless General enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. So graveyard hate here. And sacrifice Jaina. Humans you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. And we got a mirror. Okay. So there's that. And then here is our pack, our promo pack for March of the Machine. We got Voldaren Thrillseeker, which is, I don't know, okay, I guess. Halo Forger, which is nice. And a Natural Growth, which is a fun card, I think. A really fun card. But there you have it. Had a great time again tonight, and I can't wait till we do it all again next week. Till then, I hope you have a great one. I'll see you next time.